On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And here we are. We are approaching the end of February.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it. I mean, February is a shorter month, but God, why is this flying by so fast?
Madison, I'm glad you asked. So typically, when it comes to quantum relativity and the theory of physics, it's just that the airwaves are moving at a molecular structure in which you're to under to over, and it's just...
It's not under to over, it's over to under with the atoms
of
creating...
Over. Yes.
No, creating, you know this, you're the one that taught me this,
yes.
Creating the molecular structure
of
the quantum
being, which is, in theory, what is making everything feel like the year is just flying by. Use this sound if you feel like the physical quantum physics of structure is making this year just feel crazy fast.
Crazy fast, the speed of light and the speed of sound.
Oh.
And that is E6000 to the fourth power.
Mic drop. You heard it here.
You heard it here. We are scientists, honey.
Did we say our names?
No.
Oh.
Did we? Yes, we did. Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
We didn't, I mean, we don't throw around doctor, but we didn't say doctor. We just said our normal names.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't like to throw around titles over here, but if we were to, from doctorates to science to bachelors of arts to philosophers, people call us all kinds of things, and I love that. I love that about us. Professors even.
Yes. Now, the only title that I have is the music streaming service.
And you are one of 60 users on that platform.
Yes. Honey.
Okay, if you're listening to this on Tidal.
I don't think they even have that capability, girl.
You know what? Keep it simple. I love it. But speaking of titles and speaking of professors, actually, the champ had never seen Dead Poets Society. Have you seen it?
I don't know if I have either.
Life-changing.
Really?
I hadn't seen it in full, I don't think ever, but I had watched it. I remember it was like on TV or something, probably 20 years ago. This was like a long time ago, and I had not seen it since.
Who's in it?
Robin Williams.
That's what I thought. Okay, yes, that's what I thought. I'm telling you the truth. That's what I thought.
Yeah, Robin Williams. It is such a great film. Probably top 10.
What's it about?
It's about a professor who encourages, like, he comes in to this school and it's kind of like a private school for boys. And he comes in as the professor, Robin Williams does. And I don't want to spoil anything, but when Robin Williams was young and in college, he had been part of this group called the Dead Poets Society. And that's what they named themselves. And they would meet up regularly in this like cave near campus. And it was like this group of guys, and they would like read poetry and stuff and kind of like act it out. And it was just like, it sounds kind of nerdy, but it was cool. Yeah. And basically a group of his students get encouraged to go do the same thing. But it's like a drama movie, I would say, but it's really good.
Wow. Okay.
So that's my recommendation for the week.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't watched any movies this week, but I did visit a little psychic.
a little psychic named Felix Lee Lerma.
Oh, the best. So if you guys have been listening, you know that Spencer has seen Felix before. And
yes,
we have gotten so many, to this day, DMs like, hey, what was that psychic's name?
Mm-hmm.
And I finally was like, why the fuck haven't I scheduled an appointment? And so I did. It was supposed to be, he's booked out like months in advance, but there was a cancellation and the stars aligned and it worked out and it was a wild experience. I don't know if you felt this, like going into it, it's nerve-wracking, right? Like it's like, okay, what is he going to tell me? But his energy is so calming, so kind.
Yeah.
I felt like at ease.
Well, and word's gotten out. I mean, he reads a lot of like celebrities and stuff. Felix is great. He's fantastic. I had a good read with him. And at this point, hundreds of people, probably a lot of you guys have gotten readings by him and sent in your stories. I know a lot of people in my personal life too who have since gone to him. I think the key to any good reading is just going in open-minded and just being like, okay, I'm going to receive what information I'm
supposed to. Yeah.
Was there anything you heard that you feel like comfortable sharing on the show? Because I know parts of it are things that like I'm sure you don't want to talk about, but
right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, there was a lot of dead loved ones that I had asked the night before to come through, and many of them showed up. We started off and he was like, "Who's Frances?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's my grandma, the one I've written about in the book." Like I loved her so much. And of course, she came through. My sister had a psychic reading years ago by another great psychic named Tim Braun. And I remember he read her and was like, all right, should I be scared right now? Because there's a woman who keeps coming through telling me if I get any of this information wrong, she's going to haunt me. And my sister knew exactly it was our grandma Frances because she was just a spitfire. She was the God doesn't want her, the devil doesn't either, like that grandma. So of course she was like, she came throughout.
Yeah.
And then brought up like other dead loved ones that I didn't ask to come, but I didn't even think about because they had passed years and years ago, but had loved them so much.
Yeah.
And then there was some stuff that I obviously won't share. There was a lot of stuff that was just like, there's no way that he would have known, down to like, I asked him to read the dogs. I was like, do the dogs want to come through or say anything? And he said a couple things, and he's like, Desi keeps showing me his leg and his hip, like his left leg and hip. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, he wants me to tell you he's fine. And it was like a freak thing happened a couple months ago where Desi had a muscle spasm or something. Like, I don't know if he tweaked it playing or whatever, and we had to take him to the vet. And the vet was like, oh yeah, it's like his left leg, hip. It was probably just from playing rough. Like, he'll be fine. Gave him some like painkillers, and he was fine within a day. And he's like, yeah, he's showing me that. He wants you to know he's totally fine. But it made him feel pretty old for that time being. And it was like he couldn't jump up on the bed. He couldn't.
Yeah,
it was, like,
I remember that.
us. There's also some things like my grandma brought up a second book, which love. We got to do that. And then can I talk about who we think might be your mom?
Well, yeah. So Madison was doing the reading, and obviously I know when she's doing the reading, right? So I had been actually editing something else, and I was like sitting at my computer while you were doing the reading, and I was just like filling time basically because I'm like, oh my God, waiting for you to be done and hang up with him so that you could call me. And I'm sitting there and I was like, oh my God, wait, Mom. I was like, can you go through and talk to Madison? And like right around then, he was like, a woman keeps trying to come through, and she's a cute name. It's an L name, like Lily, something like double L. Uh-huh.
And I don't know why I didn't think of your mom right away, but I thought of an old neighbor who is like kind of like a second mom to me, and her name was Lulu, which also wasn't that kind of a nickname for your mom?
That was my mom's nickname, yeah.
So yeah, and the lady that came through just was like, I'm really proud of you, and then said like, you're doing a lot, like you've got a lot going on, or something like that, like along those lines. And I'm proud of you or something.
Oh.
He'll send the recording. But then I was like, oh, wait a second. Spencer's mom was a double L, duh.
Yeah.
But totally. And it was later on, like after you had probably asked her to come through. So yeah, it was a really great reading. Spencer and I both are going to get him on the show.
Yes.
So we can ask him questions, and yeah, really loved him. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, great experience. I'm so glad you had a good experience. Okay, not to change topics.
Okay.
But I have a bad experience to talk about.
What?
There was a news article this week that shook me to my core.
What?
And
the Nancy Guthrie?
Olive Garden. Did you hear about this?
No.
Oh my God.
Olive Garden already shakes you to your core. I've been there with you.
Yeah, and I got in a fight.
Yeah.
And got kicked out.
I know. With your tour of Italy, like probably sitting on the
fucking table.
Yeah.
Yeah, my endless breadsticks. Not so endless that night. I was allowed back in eventually. Believe that.
Wild.
Anyway, quote, this is from Newsweek. An Olive Garden cook was rushed to the hospital after diving headfirst into a deep fryer in what authorities have described as a suicide attempt.
What?
The chaotic scene reportedly left several employees in visible distress as they attempted to assist before first responders arrived. The incident, which occurred on January 30th, unfolded inside the Williamsport, Pennsylvania Olive Garden kitchen and resulted in the unidentified man suffering severe burn injuries.
He dove headfirst into a
an air fryer, into a fryer.
Do you know how painful?
Oh my God. I mean, torture. True. I've never heard anything like this. I believe the person died. It says the restaurant was closed for several days after the incident, but has since reopened.
Oh my God.
Girl, how do you ever go back to work after seeing somebody jump in the fryer?
I know. And how is that just for health reasons? I mean, we're not experts.
Burn the restaurant down.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
You'd have to completely
crazy.
replace, I would assume, the fryer.
So he was like deep fried. I'm not trying to be funny either. Like he was deep fried.
Yeah.
Oh. God.
Isn't that crazy?
I hate that.
Oh, and before I forget, I also have in my notes, I just wanted to shout out to our super fun. We joined after last week's episode. I had a Geoff reach out a couple months ago, or probably like a month ago, and she was like, I'm doing a book club. We're reading The Big Hot Book of Death. Like, what are the chances we get you guys to call in? And I was like, the chances are high because we love you guys.
Calling? Yes.
Yeah. And so we did. We joined in, and it was like this cute group of girls from San Diego, and it was so much fun. I felt like we were just having just like a little girly time.
I know. If the connection was better, we would have stayed on longer. There was a point where we're like, oh my God, we sound so stupid because there was like an echo. And we were like, No, but they were so cute. And I loved seeing our book on the Kindle because some of them had the Kindle version.
Yes. It was
so cute.
So cute. So cool to see.
I want to go back to the psychic, okay? Really quick. I know you changed the subject and scarred us. No, don't be sorry. I have a listener email.
Oh, okay.
That is talks about some premonitions and predictions and visitations. Okay, so this says, hey, bitch, and whoever the fuck else, which love that.
Love it.
Love you, girl. I freaking love this podcast. My fur baby Paisley and I listen to you every morning while I'm getting ready, like a creepy little morning talk show, which love.
Fun.
Never stop being unapologetically yourselves.
Couldn't if we tried.
Couldn't if we tried. We've tried.
We've tried.
So I have a little story for you, and you're welcome to read it on the pod. I'll probably tell anyone who has ears if you do. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a big believer in dreams not always being random subconscious garbage. Sometimes they carry, I agree too. And you know what? The psychic even said that. He acknowledged one of my dead loved ones who was like, hey, you've had a dream about me recently, and that was me. Just so you know. Sometimes they carry messages or visitations from loved ones that have passed. One of my favorite humans, my grandma Nancy, passed away a few weeks before my wedding after beating cancer 4 other times in her life.
Wow.
The 5th, I know. The 5th was her curtain call, which that gave me the chills. I love
a curtain call, yeah.
She went peacefully in her sleep. After we heard the news, my eldest sister told me she had a weird dream about my grandma the night/morning before.
Wait, a text just came through. Was that on your end or my end?
Your end. I don't have a text.
I just heard it.
Weird. From the other side?
Hello? Does someone have something they'd like to share with us?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, sorry.
Weird. Okay, we're getting kooky creepy here. After we heard the news, my eldest sister told me she had a weird dream about my grandma the night/morning before. She said that our family were all together in a room, but that we all felt like there was something we were missing. Suddenly, my grandma burst into the room and my sister was startled awake at about 6 a.m. During the funeral process, my aunt told us that she had had a weird dream about my grandma that same night too. She was standing at the end of a long hallway with an elevator at the end of it, which don't you always have elevators in your dreams?
When I was little, when I would have nightmares, I would always look for an elevator.
Okay. My grandma used to do this bop walk when she was really feeling herself. I love that. It was like a side-to-side thing where she'd pop her hips and her feet out. My aunt said that my grandma appeared all dressed up, doing her little bop walk down the hallway toward the elevator. I just got the chills. When she reached it, it opened, and inside was my grandpa who had died 20 years ago. That makes me want to cry.
Oh.
Once she saw him, she was startled awake again at about 6 a.m.
Oh my God, I love that.
This shit makes me so emotional. I'm emotional right now, just in life.
Okay, Miss Lexapro shedding a tear.
Can you believe? I know. Never happens. I'm always numb. I know. We later found out that my grandma's heart monitor had recorded when her heart stopped. You guessed it. It was at about 6 a.m. Oh, life is beautiful sometimes.
It really is.
It really is. Leading up to the wedding, I was heartbroken she couldn't be there. When she got her diagnosis, she told her doctors that she just... Why am I going to cry? Okay. When she got her diagnosis, she told her doctors that she just wanted to make it to November so that she could attend my wedding and also my cousin's wedding. Maybe a week before the big day, I had a dream that I was sitting in a large fancy banquet hall with my then fiance. I don't know why your email's making me cry. We were laughing and talking with others at our table when I got that feeling that someone was staring at me. I turned and there was a woman standing by a piano just staring at me. Not in a creepy way, like a happy, proud way. I grabbed a waiter walking by, "Where even am I?" and asked him who the woman was. He said matter-of-factly, "Oh, she's been here the whole time." I looked closer at the woman and it was my grandma. We saved a seat for her at the wedding with a candle and a photo of her. We also mixed some of the petals from her casket spray into the petals that were scattered by the flower girl so that she could still have her walk down the aisle. I hope it was her bop walk. And then she attached wedding pictures.
Now I'm getting emotional because you're crying and I can't handle it when you cry.
I know. And pictures of her dog. Love you fuckers, Holly. Thank you, Holly.
Thanks, Holly, for making us fucking cry. Look what you've done.
Look what you've done, Holly.
Oh, what a beautiful story. You're probably like emotionally you literally saw the psychic yesterday.
Oh my God, I know, girl. I need to go drink a beer. Crack
one open. Oh, God.
Oh my God. Give me some assholes, girl.
Girl,
Give me some assholes.
Got one for you. And it says, am I the asshole for not telling a high school friend of my dad's I ran into that he'd died? I do only have one singular asshole this week because I wanted to read that Olive Garden article also.
Oh, perfect.
It says, this is a short one. Basically, I went to pick up a prescription and the pharmacist almost immediately asked me if I was my dad's kid. I don't think we've met before. Me and my dad just really look alike. And so, of course, I was like, yeah. And then she asked a bunch of questions about what he was up to these days and talked about how they used to be friends in high school. And for some reason, I just made stuff up instead of being like, well, actually, he died a few years ago because one, I was truly the sickest I've ever been in my life at the time. I had strep and mono. And two, me and my dad had a really complicated relationship. So the whole sorry for your loss ritual doesn't feel fitting. And it was like 8 a.m. So just overall, I was in a weird mood. I didn't want to deal with that. And so she was like, tell him her name says hi. And I was like, I will. And I assumed that would be the end of it. But then today I see that she has message requested me on Facebook, basically saying that I ruined her day by lying because she went to find him to reach out and found out he was dead and how I should never do that to anyone again because it was cruel. Which, like, I do feel bad, and she's maybe right, but also I've never heard about or met this lady in my whole life, so clearly they weren't all that close. So I think for her to say I ruined her day was a little dramatic, but I don't know. So, too long, don't read. A high school friend of my dead dad told me to say hi for her, and I said I would. She later DM'd me on Facebook, saying me lying about that ruined her day. Am I the asshole? Should I apologize?
I mean, I think you should explain yourself. I don't think you meant any harm.
I'd be like, listen, I felt like shit. I was so sick. I didn't want to like unleash that news on anyone at 8 o'clock in the morning, but
I couldn't handle it. I know. You know, there's a podcast I listen to it's this girl and her mom died a few years ago, and she went to go get her nails done at the same place that her mom would get her nails done. And she walked in, and she looks very much like her mom. And she walked in, and the nail lady was like, oh my gosh, and was calling her mom's name and thought she was her mom. And she just fucking went with it.
Wait, something happened similar with my sister. I need to ask her, but because her and my mom would always go to the same nail salon.
No.
And I feel like she went back one time and like didn't want to tell them that our mom had died. So I think she just like pretended like, oh, okay, no.
It's hard being like the messenger.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be the messenger.
Remember we've talked about death messengers? And
death messengers.
Death
That's what you said.
We've talked about death messengers.
Death messengers. Yes, we have. And I'll never forget because of that.
Cindy Brady.
Yeah, Cindy Brady. Well, speaking of messengers, we are what some might say are the messengers of obituaries. And you are up first this week, Madison.
Yes, I am.
Which means that I should have a little side bitch for us.
Yes, you should.
Okay, I have one and it's an oldie.
Ooh.
And it's for Hollis Booty.
Booty!
Services for Hollis Booty will be at 11 a.m. Monday at the Chapel of Beauregard, Vernon, with the Reverends Glenn Flanagan and V.L. Pruitt officiating. Burial will be in Booty Family Cemetery, Kisatchie.
Kisatchie. Booty Family Cemetery is the best.
Girl, that's the Booty Family Cemetery.
That's the Booty Family. I love that. Good for them.
Life is
I'd
beautiful.
I'd rather be the Booty Family than the Vagina Family. No offense, sorry.
Yeah.
But we know about that.
We know all about them.
We know all about that.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to hear what had you spinning in your coffin this week.
Let's do it.
All right.
I keep switching it up.
I don't
Sorry.
know. I'm like, good. Switch it up. We got to keep things fresh. We'll be right back. And we're back. Madison, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Well, girlies, if you listened to our last episode, you know that Spencer and I devised a little plan to each visit a cemetery this week and find out all that we could about it. So that's exactly what I did. That's what had me spinning in my coffin.
Hell
and
yeah.
I have to tell you, it was so fun. It was so informative. It was so just a great way to break up the week. Visit a cemetery.
Oh.
You know?
Everybody visit your local cemetery.
It was so nice. And it's a cemetery like I've driven by. I think you and I have driven through before, but never got out and like walked the premises.
Which, well, you'll tell me.
I'll tell you in a second. But I sat in the cemetery grass among all the beautiful headstones, and it felt really good. It felt really fucking peaceful. You know, it was very nice. I did have something weird happen to me, but I'll tell you that later.
Okay.
I'll tell it in the coffin spinner, but you know, that'll come later.
I'm excited.
I know. So this week I visited the Sunnyside Cemetery in Long Beach, California, and she did not disappoint. She has a lot of history and she has survived a lot of things. And again, things that I thought I would have known, I did not know. And it was just a really cool way to just dive into your local history, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm really appreciative of it. So to set the scene, Geoffs, and give you a little background and a few things that I didn't realize before. So Sunnyside is actually, and you probably didn't know this either, Spence, Sunnyside is actually 2 cemeteries on that same lot.
Which one is Sunnyside? Is it by the Signal Hill In and Out, kind of?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
The big old one.
Big old one.
Yes.
There's technically 2 cemeteries, 2 different cemeteries on that property.
We went there a long time ago with an EMF reader.
Did we?
Yep.
Okay. Did we find anything?
I think it went off, but I think we were like, oh my God, do you want In and Out?
Yeah, probably. That's usually
Actually, I'm pretty sure that
case.
night we went through the Jack in the Box drive-through over there, and then we went through the In and Out drive-through.
Jalapeno poppers to just add. Oh, I love it.
Jack in the Box. My mouth is watering. Jack in the Box jalapeno poppers with Jack in the Box ranch is unfucking real.
I know. I might have to have it today.
Oh my God, me too. We should order them.
I know. I'm gonna regret it, but
Me too. I'll be burning ass tomorrow, but
burning asshole.
it tastes so good in the moment.
So worth it.
Getting-
So worth it. Oh, that's one thing the psychic told me the second we started. He's like, I'm getting so hot. He's like, my body feels hot. He's like, you have people coming in.
That's how I feel when I want Jack in the Box.
I know.
A few moments later.
That other cemetery that's not technically Sunnyside is the Long Beach Municipal Cemetery.
Do I have Jack in the Box?
In Tennessee? I don't know. Wait a second.
Hold on.
More pressing issues.
Because otherwise I'll just be thinking about it the whole time. Okay, I do. I have Jack in the Box. Yes. Okay. Confirmed.
Okay, crisis averted. Jesus.
So you went to the cemetery. What'd you find?
Okay, so that cemetery that is not technically Sunnyside Cemetery is the Long Beach Municipal Cemetery, and it sits right next to it, and it is gated off. When I was walking around, I was like, why can't I get to that side of the cemetery?
It's not the one that if you're driving and it's on the right, it's not that first part on the right.
It's the really hilly part.
It's kind of set back a little more.
Set back and higher. And
yeah.
I thought when I was walking, I was like, oh, this is gated off because duh, I know about headstones now and these babies topple over. So I think that it's probably because of that. Well, come to find out, no, it's just a completely different cemetery.
Okay.
And that cemetery dates back earlier than Sunnyside. It dates back to the very, very early 1900s. And the cemetery actually holds one of the founders of Long Beach, William E. Wilmore, and his burial was in 1901. And he has a mausoleum there.
Yes, I know that. I'm familiar with the Wilmore name.
Yeah, there's like the Wilmore District.
Well,
There's,
isn't that over where that guy who killed Zach Kennedy lives? He lives in the
Yes.
Wilmore District where they have the cute little houses and
Yep. Oh, yeah. And I think the Wilmore house is there. It's like haunted.
oh yeah,
That like big, beautiful. Victorian.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. So back to Sunnyside. Sunnyside was established in 1906. This cemetery also holds some of the city's founders of Long Beach as well, and a lot of their earliest residents. There are also quite a few Civil War veteran burials there. I took so many pictures, and I'll post them and have Austin pop a lot of them in. But the headstones are all so beautiful. I FaceTimed you while I was there. You saw a lot of it.
But you know what's funny is I didn't ask. I thought you were at the cemetery that's across from the mausoleum that we used to go to a lot, but it's not. It's a different cemetery.
I have a story about that cemetery actually in just a second because there's a link. But yeah, the headstones are all so beautiful. I love that you can kind of tell which era they're from. Like I find I was drawn to the ones that were buried in like the 1920s all the way to the 1960s. Anything before that and anything after that, I wasn't as drawn to. Speaking of the 1920s, this is kind of where our cemetery girl starts to have some issues. In 1921, that was the year that Signal Hill struck oil. So I feel like this is how all cities work, but Long Beach is like, there's a lot of different cities kind of within the Long Beach that like, you're like, no, Signal Hill is Long Beach, but it's technically Signal Hill. So when I say Signal Hill, it's still Long Beach to us. So they struck oil in Signal Hill. And because of that, Long Beach kind of explodes, like economically. I was watching a video, like the population when that happened was like, let's say 20,000. And within that year, it exploded to like 50,000 because everybody was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So oil derricks begin popping up everywhere. And there's still one at the, like in line at In-N-Out. Like you still see them all over, but obviously not as much as in the 1920s. But around that cemetery is like where the oil was really struck. And so funerals at that time, I can't even imagine, like noisy oil derricks just like pumping. And so that cemetery survived the oil boom. It survived the industrialization. It survived a lot, but it wasn't done surviving because the year after, in 1922, another cemetery opens. And guess what that cemetery's name was? Sunnyside. They stole her name.
So I was like just confused for a second. I was like, wait, I thought this one was Sunnyside.
No, I know. They opened a whole nother Sunnyside across town.
Scandalous. Was it the same owners?
Okay, so I guess at the time they had major plans to build a big mausoleum at the original Sunnyside.
Okay,
but because of the oil, they were selling off land and they realized we cannot build the mausoleum here. So they had to move it to, you know where, to our favorite place ever, where the mausoleum is.
Yes.
That cemetery was called Sunnyside.
Okay.
Before it was acquired by Forest Lawn, and now it's a Forest Lawn cemetery.
So, I mean, safe to say now, when we started the podcast, I lived really close to over there. It was like a 5-minute drive from my apartment, pre-Betty Bungalow, pre all of that.
Right.
And we loved that mausoleum. We used to go there
all the time.
Weekly, at least. We'd
grab coffee, walk around.
Meet up at the mausoleum, the pre-obituary, meet up at the mausoleum, and we'd be like, I feel like I'm in Europe. Like, we just loved it.
It was so beautiful.
We'd sing. We'd go in there and sing in the chapel.
Yeah. We shot our
book cover.
They're great there. They were so nice and accommodating. We shot our book announcement there in the chapel. Like they're great.
This is how nice they are. We showed up with the big blow up of our book cover and we said, may we go
May
into the
we?
funeral chapel and take pictures for our book cover reveal? And they were like, absolutely.
As long as no one's there.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were going to be dicks. Like, you need a permit. You need to rent out the space. You need blah, blah, blah. But they were like, no, go ahead. So, yeah, that cemetery was actually called Sunnyside. So it was like the second Sunnyside.
What are they now?
Well, now there's still the OG Sunnyside that's never changed.
Uh-huh.
And then now it's the other one is Forest Lawn.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
okay.
Because of the oil boom, that mausoleum was actually going to be at the original, the one I went to.
Who knows if we ever would have started the show?
Who knows? Honestly, who knows? So sometimes the research is a little murky because there are two Sunnysides. Anyway, the OG Sunnyside is still Sunnyside. But I have to fast track us to the 1990s quickly because this was her most fragile era yet.
Same.
I know. No, actually, I was killing it.
Yeah.
I was killing
90s, thriving.
Thriving, okay?
Last time I had abs, I'll tell you that.
Me too. Me too. Well, actually, I don't think I've ever had them, but closer than ever. So cemeteries operate on something called an endowment care fund, which I believe we've talked about when I've talked about like the lifespan of cemeteries.
Yeah, like well endowed.
Yes, honey. Absolutely. But basically, someone buys a plot. Some of that money goes into like a protected fund, and that fund is supposed to remain untouched. And I guess the interest from that fund pays for all the maintenance of the cemetery. It's meant to protect our dead, right? It's meant to keep everything maintained and all of that. But in the mid-90s, it was discovered that the owner of Sunnyside, his name is Dean A. Dempsey, stole around $500,000 from that fund.
Dean Dempsey is getting away with it with that name because he sounds hot.
He does sound hot, but I have an LA Times little article that I need to read to you, just a little snippet from 1996.
Do we know if he was hot?
I can't find a picture of him.
Okay.
Maybe. Totally, maybe. But he was a fucking asshole. It says, quote, Dean A. Dempsey, 43 of Long Beach, was taken into custody at the Newport Beach souvenir shop where he now works and was charged with 1 count of grand theft and 3 felony violations of the state health and safety code. It goes on, quote, Dempsey allegedly raided the endowment fund at Sunnyside Cemetery, which he sold after the state began its investigation in 1994. And I read something like he sold it for $100, the cemetery.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It goes on, it says, quote, he allegedly used the money paid by those buying graves to settle personal debts, including bar tabs and payments on a leased Mercedes. A dick.
Let them.
No, not if your family's buried there.
No, girl. No, that's actually so fucked up.
But apparently he was like found out because they got so many complaints about the state of the cemetery and how it was taken care of. And if you go on like Yelp for the cemetery, there's like in the 2010s, there's a ton of Yelps like, man, this cemetery has fallen into disrepair. Like this cemetery is in such bad shape.
Yeah.
And I remember like driving by it before, like, God, it doesn't look good. Like,
yeah.
The grass is all dead.
We would talk about it.
Yeah, but now, I guess in 2019, the city of Long Beach approved acquiring Sunnyside to preserve and maintain it, and they totally did. It's beautiful now. It's like just the grass is green and all of the headstones seem well maintained. So they've given it, a new life.
Yeah.
One thing that I did notice while I was walking around was I saw a ton of tree stump shaped headstones. Like it literally looked just like a tree stump was stuck there.
Interesting.
I know. And I of course started Googling it, and I found on Atlas Obscura, they explained it. They said that, quote, tree stump tombstones like these can be found in graveyards across the country. they tend to surprise people who come across them since they're not quite what we expect to see at the head of a grave. They date mostly to 1880s to 1920s, when funerary art in the United States was moving away from the grand mausoleums and obelisks found elsewhere in Greenwood. The tree stump stones were part of a movement to turn the focus of death back to life, and their unique form connected with the secret societies of the time. They qualify as folk art, writes Susan Ridlin in her 1999 book, Tree Stump Tombstones.
Wow.
Yes, we'll put a bunch of the pictures up. They were really pretty. They looked almost like from a storybook or something.
I love that.
Okay, but Sunnyside is not without local legend and lore. And I found 2 stories that are probably the most popular, like when you Google them. They're really popular and well known because they have the newspaper articles. They have the stuff to back them up.
Okay.
Like these aren't just like, oh, this woman,
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Let's not get high and mighty. We love this woman.
Totally true. Absolutely. But before I tell you about those 2 stories quickly, the weird thing that happened to me was I was walking through, and I'll put a picture up of these little headstones. They were like normal size headstones, but shrunken down. And there's quite a bit of them in this one little area. And I looked, and they were all babies and children.
Yeah.
And in that area, I don't have any psychic abilities. I rarely feel things. I'm usually wrong. My gut's usually wrong. I don't know. I wish I had a gift, but I don't. My legs felt like I was drudging through mud. I was like, God, like my legs just felt heavy in that area. And it lasted just a couple seconds and then never came back. But it was weird.
Fuck.
I know. It was very weird.
Scary a little.
A little scary, I know.
No hitchhiking ghost, please.
I know. So, okay. I went around, took a bunch of pictures of headstones that I thought were beautiful. I'll post them all. But there was one headstone that I stumbled upon that had a ton of coins all over it. And I was super drawn to this one. Hand to God.
You're like,
didn't know.
I went and I collected all the coins.
Yes.
I went to the coin star.
And I pulled out money. Yes. No, hand to God, I did not know the story behind this headstone. I had been told a story, but didn't know this person's name, nothing. I was just drawn to this headstone. And I took a picture of it. And when I was writing this, I was like looking through my pictures and I Googled that name. And it's interesting because the coins on a headstone, I know a penny means like, okay, hey, we visited, but there were other coins. And I know a lot of times it has to do with like veterans, like, oh, we served together or we did boot camp together. Like that's why people leave coins. But this person, I don't think had any military background. So I Googled the name. The name was Bessie M. Baxter. And Bessie is known, and I've heard this local legend before, but I didn't know it was her. She's like known as like the lady in white of the cemetery, and you'll understand why. But I just thought it was weird that I was drawn to that, and I took a picture of it before knowing.
Did you give her a coin?
I didn't. I should have. I found a really great YouTube video via the Long Beach Historical Society where they literally tell her whole story, and the woman portraying her speaks but also does sign language because I didn't know this. Bessie was deaf.
Oh.
But here's what we know, and here's what I took from that video. So Bessie was born in 1888 in Nebraska. Her parents passed away, but she was adopted by her aunt and uncle who lived in Iowa. She moved to Long Beach in 1911 with her uncle, and she worked at a laundromat in Long Beach where she met her soon-to-be husband, who was just like a customer that would come in. Now, cut to September of 1918. She's 30 years old, and she is getting ready to get married. It is 4 days before her wedding. And she dies, tragically. Okay. She and her bridesmaids had gone to LA for the day to purchase her wedding dress. And on the way home, she was struck by a Pacific Electric streetcar. Now, this was like a trolley. So I guess she had taken a trolley to to LA to get her wedding dress and then took one home. And she stepped off the trolley, like with her wedding dress with a bunch of boxes. And the trolley coming northbound struck her. And because she was deaf, she didn't hear it coming.
Oh.
She was taken to the hospital, but died hours later. And she was unconscious the whole time, never regained consciousness. So she died September 20th, 1918. Her wedding day was supposed to be September 23rd, 1918. Just terrible. So instead of her having a wedding day, that day turned into her funeral. The same reverend that was supposed to marry her fiance and her actually had to conduct her funeral. All of her groomsmen and her bridesmaids became her pallbearers, and her wedding flowers became her funeral flowers. They put like her bouquet on her coffin.
Wow.
And they buried her in her wedding dress.
Wow.
And so to this day, there are a lot of accounts of seeing a woman walking around the cemetery in a wedding dress.
She said, I'm wearing it.
I'm wearing it, and I love her for that.
Yeah.
I think why the fuck not? And I found a ton of newspaper clippings of her, like the Register in 1918 said, former local girl killed by car on eve of wedding. And it was big news. So she's buried there. Now, I wish I would have been drawn to this next grave, but I wasn't. And I'll post the picture of it. It's not a big elaborate headstone. It's just a little like nameplate on the ground, but I wish I would have walked by it. But I actually learned about this story via Haunted Long Beach. Now, Long Beach used to have a huge roller coaster. The area that is downtown sits very close to the ocean, and it's still called the Pike area, the Pike.
Was an amusement park, and it looks like there's a roller coaster there.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, it was like it used to be the happening place. There was this huge roller coaster
now it's weird.
Now it's like things don't last there, which makes me so sad because it could be so cool.
So much potential.
I know, so much potential. But the huge roller coaster was called the Cyclone Racer. So one day, a 19-year-old boy named Vern was there. And oh my God, did you see that? As soon as I said Vern, the lights like flickered. That was weird. Very weird. Okay. So Vern, later on, I learned that he actually, I think, was a roller coaster operator. But he was trying to impress a girl who had lost her hat on the roller coaster. And he was like, oh, I'll go get it. Don't worry, I'll go get it. So he rides one of the cars. And I don't know whether he tried to get out of the cart or he just reached his arm out. But another cart came, hit him. His body flew. Apparently into the ocean. There's all these articles. This one article from 1918 from the Press Telegram says Vern Pickle killed on coaster, remains hurled from amusement device into ocean, not yet recovered. Well, eventually they recovered his body and it was super mangled, but there was no head.
God.
Okay. The head, I found another newspaper article that says, young lad makes gruesome find. Picks up portion of skull of roller coaster victim. See what I have? Isn't it a funny looking thing? The speaker was little, 7-year-old C.G. Martin Jr. A 7-year-old found his skull on the beach and was playing with it.
God.
Now, there's a historian that I watched, and she doesn't know whether his head or skull was buried with his body, so it may just be a headless body laying in the ground there. But there's a lot of people who report that if you drive by and whistle, like at night, you'll see him, or you'll see him walking around like a headless man walking around the cemetery. But apparently he's so sweet. He just wants to help out.
Let him hook up with that bride gal.
I know.
The lady in white.
I know. Maybe. I think they totally should. Also, I forgot I had this book, but I brought it out for research. It's this book. We'll zoom in here. It's Historic Cemeteries of Long Beach by Jerry Shipsky. And on the cover is this incredible statue that I took pictures of that is at the cemetery. And in it talks about it. And it's a famous statue that, you know, the photographer Ansel Adams?
Yeah.
He shot this statue, and it's like it's a very famous photo, but I never knew that it was from that cemetery. And it's called the Angel of Sorrows. And it says the first recorded burial plot was sold on July 19th, 1907 for $150 to Hannah S.G. Rea, the second wife of Dr. Albert Romero Rea. On May 10th, 1907, retired Civil War physician Albert Rea, who was deaf, was struck by a Pacific Electric trolley while bicycling around 3rd Street. Which, crazy, the connection there.
Yeah.
He crossed the track and was hit by the train, which dragged him several feet. He died later that day. Rea's gravesite and the marble sculpture atop are perhaps the most photographed in the cemetery. In 1939, Ansel Adams, who was so taken by the contrast of oil derricks and headstones that he stopped and photographed both the gravesite and the cemetery. In 2007, vandals knocked the angel off the pedestal. The city provided a crane, which put her back in place. Oh. Tragedy continued to strike the Rea family. 9 members of the funeral party were seriously injured when their carriages collided and they were thrown to the ground.
Oh my God.
The hackman claimed the steep grade caused him to lose control of the horses as they went down the hill. Dr. Rea's wife, Hannah, is buried without any marker. Her sister, Elizabeth Covert, is also buried in the plot. So crazy, the deaf connection with the trolleys.
That is crazy.
So yeah, there's so much more. Like I was finding obituaries for everybody I took pictures of. I don't know. It was so cool. I want to do this again. I want to do this forever.
Yeah.
I want to go every day. I loved it so much.
You find, I think, a lot of inspiration. And that's like...
Totally.
Yeah. I was definitely left feeling the same way where I was just like, okay, I need to do this all the time.
All the time, once a week.
Yeah,
I know.
literally.
I really loved it.
Well, look at that. How many incredible stories you learned just from visiting your local cemetery.
True.
So
wow.
Maybe one day we'll hit the road. Maybe we'll do a cemetery tour and you can go to cemeteries all over the country.
I'd love it.
All over the world, baby.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Well, we're going to take one more quick break. And when we come back, I'll tell you what had me spinning in my coffin this week.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back.
And we're back, Spencer. I cannot wait to hear what had you spinning.
I kept pretty mum on mine this week.
You did.
When we were talking, I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just so excited that you're in Nashville because I guarantee there's some cool shit there.
There is. So I had 2 cemeteries that I was deciding between. Funny enough, both of them opposite sides of town, but one's near a gym that I go to twice a week, and one's near a gym I go to the other 3 times. They're both like next to these cemeteries. But this one I am so excited for because it's also a cemetery that I pass very regularly. And I had no idea that it was so iconic. Like, this is like our Hollywood forever. Like, this is where the stars are resting.
Oh,
honey.
No way.
Yes. So today you're going to be coming on a trip with me to Woodlawn Cemetery Memorial Park in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. Is Woodlawn a chain?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's also hard because a lot have lawn in the name. Like there's so many forest lawns, there's so many woodlawns. Actually, this is true. Sometimes they are, but then sometimes they're not like actually connected. So I'm not
Maybe
sure.
like the same cemetery association. But
Maybe. Yeah. Now, I'll be honest, and I mean no disrespect, but especially right now, maybe in the winter, it felt a little basic and kind of in the sense like Sunnyside, where it's just like, like I know they're all cemeteries, but some cemeteries are so beautiful and shaded and da-da-da. And then
I know what you mean. Yeah.
like and hilly and da-da-da. This is kind of flat, almost like Sunnyside a little bit, and just like tombstones as far as the eye can see, and it almost feels a little overwhelming. And again, I drive past it all the time, and it looks like you're just average run-of-the-mill cemetery. But as I made my way through the expansive outside, I ended up at these little cabins. This was like where I ended. That alone was just like such a game changer for me. Yes. It was this place. It's far away from the front of the cemetery. And sorry, this is the only comparison I can think of. You know, when you're on Pirates of the Caribbean and you're going past that little like cabin house with a porch.
Is that Pirates or is that like Tiana's log ride? Oh,
it's
Pirates?
on Pirates, and there's like a little porch light and like a rocking chair.
Oh, yeah. Yes. It's like by the Blue Bayou or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of like what it reminds me of, except this was real, I guess. So, Madison, I sent you a note with videos and pictures, and then obviously Geoffs, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll pop these up, and we'll also put some of these on Instagram as well, fit as many as we can. But this would be a good one to watch on YouTube because there's going to be way more than 20 pictures on here. So the first one I sent you is a little video that I took, and that is like of
Can I watch it?
One of the little structures there. Yeah, it's just like a quick, it just shows.
Oh, there's like a stream.
Yes, and then you can scroll actually over to the next one as well, and it'll give you a better shot of all three buildings that were on the property.
Oh, wow. Oh, it looks like a park or something. There's like a pond and cabins and okay.
Yeah. So it's completely just like random though. Like you wouldn't see it if you were just in the regular part of the cemetery.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the background on these guys. So the cemetery itself and the adjoining funeral home has been active since the early 1900s. And was originally established by a man named Raymond Ligon or Ligon. It's Ligon. And the cemetery was originally a family farm that had been passed down for several generations, and that it eventually ended up in the hands of Raymond, who got the property, and he started developing the cemetery and added the funeral chapel on the premise, which you can see if you scroll over.
Wait, it was a family farm? That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, beautiful chapel.
Yes. The property is 133 acres in total. So I didn't obviously walk through it in its entirety. I drove around part of it, but I walked pretty much the whole front. I was there for about 2 hours. We'll come back to that, but really quick, I thought this was cool. So one of the buildings, which there's a picture in, that's the homestead one. You can see there's a placard in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, the Carper homestead, known to be one of the oldest houses remaining from the early American era. Originally located on Cane Ridge Road at Antioch, Tennessee, the materials were removed piece by piece and rebuilt exactly as it stood when occupied by the Carper generations, donated to Woodlawn Memorial Park for historic preservation by the children of William Washington and Susie Black Carper. So I'm going to go kind of chronologically from when I first got there.
Okay.
I pulled up, I parked, but as I was pulling into the cemetery, I noticed there was this huge like monument, this huge tombstone, and I could tell by the shape of it that it was George Jones's plot, because I had seen pictures of it before online, and it's kind of in its own little section within the cemetery. It's actually gated off, but the gate is open. Like you're able to walk through it. But I
Yeah.
laughed because there was a sign. I think I put that one in yours as well. And it's like, step right up and come on in.
Wait. Yeah. Oh my God, how funny.
So you walk in, and immediately upon entering to the right, there were these 2 large tombstones lying flat on the ground for Jerry and Pat Chestnut. That picture is in there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They have portraits of them etched into it on the plaques, which I thought was cool. Jerry's read Jerry Chestnut, Hall of Fame songwriter. He was a songwriter in Nashville. And it lists the songs that he wrote. It says titles, and then he wrote Trouble, Trouble, which was sang by Elvis Presley, 4 in the Morning, Good Year for the Roses, Another Place, Another Time, Holding On to Nothing, It's Midnight, Love Coming Down. Right next to him is Patricia Lineberry Chestnut. And I mean, she didn't really get much said to her. It's like his is like a picture of like, I think either him and his son or like a younger version of him and his older self. And then hers is just like a picture of her. And I think it was hard to tell. I'm like, is that her daughter or the son? And then a picture of them married. And it just says married August 11th, 1984. And it says the Lord is my shepherd. And then right around the corner from them was another plaque tombstone that caught my attention. Like, I don't know what to call them. Like, what is the proper name for that?
That would be something good to know. I mean, they're definitely a headstone, but they're
like, the whole front is a plaque, basically.
Yeah, the whole front is a plaque. They don't waste any space, and they have like murals on them
Yes.
etched into them.
Yes.
Like, I'm looking at this one, like there's like a baby picture. There's a whole football thing going on.
So this is the right around the corner from them. It is for James Robert Douglas Barones. And etched in are several images of him playing football. He was a place kicker for the Tennessee Titans. And his wife actually was Rachel Bradshaw, who's the daughter of Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, okay.
Another NFL great who I feel like I mostly know from commercials.
Totally, I know.
But James sadly died young at the age of 36 after making the decision to drink and drive. But his tomb shows pretty much his whole life story, I feel like, in there, his whole career. And it has a quote on there that says, "The road to success is lined with many tempting parking spaces. Dream big, reach for the stars." Now, on the other side of that area, you can scroll to the next one, was George Jones's final resting place. And that was a sight to see.
Beautiful.
Just
wow.
Impressive. So George Jones, if you don't know, is one of the biggest names in country music history. He collaborated with so many greats, including his one-time wife, Tammy Wynette. And sadly, as is the case with a lot of megastars, he battled heavily with substance abuse issues, primarily alcoholism. I know he was on record abusive to Tammy Wynette and just not the greatest character. But his music is very beloved, and he made a lot of strides in country music. But there was a point, and like he did a lot. He did a lot of good things. He wrote a lot of incredible music, and people still look to him as like just one of the founding fathers of country music, just such a giant in that world. But his alcoholism also got so bad that he would often miss shows, which led to him having the nickname No Show Jones.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Okay.
But as tainted as his personal life was, I mean, he played with all the greats. He played shows with Elvis, with Johnny Cash, and him and Johnny had a really good relationship, I think, throughout the entirety of their lives when they were both alive. George
both partying together, probably.
Yeah. George passed away in 2013 at the age of 81 years old. You can see his gravestone, or his tombstone, is also very much a monument to his career. There is a large guitar on there. Yeah, they have the nickname The Possum. He Stopped Loving Her Today is at the top of it, which is, you know, one of his biggest.
While I was on a plane flying to Nashville to see you, a guy I was sitting next to was like asking what I did for work. And he was like, oh, you read obituaries? Oh, death? Oh, let me play you the saddest country song in all of history. And he played me that song.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. So on either side of these two massive columns, there's George and then his wife, which we'll talk about later. But it says George Glenn Jones, and then there's a portrait of him on there. And it says, George Glenn Jones was and is the king of broken hearts. He sang of life's hardships and struggles in a way that somehow lightened our own. His voice was effortless and unforgettable. He brought unsurpassed emotional eloquence to every song he sang. He was and is the soul of country music. No one will ever fill his shoes. He is at rest, but his music is alive and ageless. He gifted it to all of us, to the joyful and broken. Walk through the world with me, he sang, and we do. And then if you actually scroll to the next picture, there's another one of those like full plaque tombstones on there with several pictures of him. And in the one on the right, he looks kind of like Uncle Baby Billy.
He totally does.
But going back, we have Nancy Ann Jones on the right side of the column. Mm-hmm. That was his wife. And she is still with us. But it says, Nancy Ann Jones. No teenage boy ever fell harder for a girl than I fell for Nancy. When I met my future wife, Nancy, on a blind date in November of 1981, I had no idea that someday she would save my life. They say love can change the world, the country legend said. I'm here to testify that it changed me for sure. Friends, family, doctors, therapists, and ministers had tried to save me, but to no avail. But finally, the power of love from one woman, Nancy Jones, made the difference and saved me, George Jones.
Wow.
Until his death in 2013, it was Nancy whom George Jones considered his soulmate.
Oh.
But I have drama and gossip.
Okay, tell me.
So a lot of people do love Nancy because she's attributed with kind of pulling George out of his addiction and kind of like smacking him in the face, like getting him back to his true self. I also don't think, though, that like George Jones could have been George Jones without his addiction and substance abuse issues, because I feel like to go to that like emotional rawness and that depth, I feel like to sing about the things he sang about come from somebody who was having that as a lived experience.
I know what you're saying. It's controversial to say that, right? But it's like,
yeah,
that's the truth. That's the art. Yeah.
Some of the most best art in the world has come from people during their most depressed times. Some of my favorite music is from people who were writing from the depths of hell, you know?
Right. Totally.
But people really, I think, respected Nancy because they were like, okay, she's who put him on the right path. After George died, she ended up shacking up with this guy named Kirk West.
Okay.
Kirk was 20 years younger than Nancy, who was 78 at the time, when news broke that she had kicked him out of their home after she discovered he was allegedly having an affair. Well, afterward, she learned that not only was he allegedly having this affair, but he had stolen $400,000 in cash and $11.6 million in cryptocurrency from her safe.
What?
Yes. And so it turns out that this guy was totally just preying on her as a widow. And there was an article I read in the Rolling Stone, and it's actually a quote from one of his ex-girlfriends, one of Kirk's ex-girlfriends. And it says, quote, "He is a guy that reads obituaries and preys on people."
Oh, we know those types.
And I'm fairly confident that's how he managed to get in touch with Nancy.
No.
So
you thought it was only for robbing houses.
Nope. Yeah, praying.
It's for dating. Yeah.
Needless to say, I don't think they'll be making room for Kirk West in their little family plot at the cemetery. This next one is for Johnny Paycheck.
Okay, love that last name.
Well, it was
love
a stage
the last name.
And his is much more humble than George Jones. It sits right outside, right in front of his. But interestingly enough, George Jones actually paid for Johnny Paycheck's entire funeral and gravestone, everything, because Johnny Paycheck, ironically, died broke.
Wow. Okay.
Johnny was a singer from Ohio who rose to fame in the 60s and 70s and sort of cemented himself as a figure in the outlaw country genre alongside major key players like Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard. That's kind of the crowd that he was running with. And he certainly had that outlaw spirit from a young age. Back in the 50s, he was court-martialed for assaulting a naval officer. And I think he like fucking broke part of his skull or something.
Oh, God.
And while in jail for that, he was like awaiting sentencing or something. He escaped twice.
Oh.
Eventually was found guilty and he was sentenced to 18 years in prison.
Okay.
But he was let out just 2 years later.
Why?
Don't know.
Don't know.
But I do know that in 1981, he was arrested and accused of statutory rape of a 12-year-old girl.
Oh, okay. So he's a piece of shit.
Don't know what happened there. I guess his band all had his back and were like, he's famous. This is why these claims are coming out. Like anyone can say anything. I don't know what happened here, but I think because of his status, he just sort of paid off the problem and essentially got away with it. But 4 years later, in December of 1985, he would serve 7 years in jail for shooting a man. But he claimed it was self-defense and only ended up serving 22 months in prison, which is so wild, the things this man gets away with. I found a little write-up on the event on savingcountrymusic.com that said, quote, "How exactly things escalated depends on who you speak to, who you choose to believe, and how much they had to drink that night. What's for certain is that things became heated between Johnny Paycheck, Larry Wise, and Lloyd Bowers. According to Wise, everything had been friendly and folks at the bar were talking with each other about how to cook deer meat and a redneck delicacy known as turtle soup. The turtle soup reference is what supposedly set Johnny Paycheck off, inspiring him to whip out his .22 pistol and shout, 'I'm no country hick,' before taking a shot at Larry Wise and grazing his skull with the bullet."
I gotta see what he looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I have to Google him.
Pull it up. "My hat flew off. My ears was ringing real bad. I reached down to get my hat and blood was running down my face. I knowed I'd been shot," Larry Wise testified during the trial.
Oh, he looks like trouble.
According to Paycheck's defense, Larry Wise and Lloyd Bowers were being combative with Paycheck. Bowers kept badgering the country star about trading hats. Right before the shooting, Larry Wise approached Paycheck with a raised beer bottle like he was about to go across Paycheck's head with it. This is when Paycheck raised the pistol and shot in what he claims was self-defense. So that's the story there.
Okay.
But you learn a lot from a tombstone, as we're finding out.
You really do. I love it.
There were a few more that I just thought were interesting or made me giggle. This one I just thought was funny. This next one you can scroll to. And there's two that are directly next to each other for two different people. They're not related. They died 12 years apart, but both of them are so similar and they have the exact same quote on them. And it felt like a yearbook. Like if someone wrote a yearbook quote the same as the person next to them. And I was
yes. Same everything. Same little angel, same design.
Keep it original, people.
Oh my God. I thought by looking at this, I thought like, oh, married couple, but no relation.
Uh-huh. And then the next one, you'll see it says Macaulay, and it says, "A loving son, compassionate man, devoted father, so loved by all. A mother who loved her family, a big brother who had a special smile, a daddy's girl with his red hair."
Oh.
And then the next one I just thought was interesting because it says strange.
Strange, yes.
I just love a tombstone that says strange. And then this was from the Freemasons, and I don't know if it's just a monument that they put there or if it's like someone hasn't been buried there yet. It looks pretty old though, but there was no other markings on it.
There were so many Freemasons at Sunnyside also. So many of those
little symbols.
Yeah.
And then if you keep scrolling, you'll see a tree trunk it's like completely knocked some of the gravestones up from the ground.
I have some pictures like that too. I'm like, girl.
Yeah.
The roots. Wait a second. I just scrolled past. Are you going to get to it? Those three women?
The statue?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just threw that in there as a picture. There was this one cool where they're like kind of standing around a well with what looks like an urn in the middle of it.
It's beautiful, but more than anything, I love your shadow. You're giving mom. Like, come on. Okay, girls. Now get in there.
No, everyone look. Okay, you look down. Okay, you picture you're in a Lana Del Rey music video. You
You're
look over
doing
here.
amazing, sweetie.
Oh my God, embarrassing. I'm such a tourist. I love it. And then there were just a few other ones that I thought like were interesting. I really liked this one guy's plaque. It was for Michael David Bush. It said Michael had an easygoing personality, even at first meeting instilled a feeling of liking and friendship. He was
Aw.
liked by all with his disarming smile, sense of humor, open honesty. He put people at ease. He loved and showed reverence to his family and his God. He was so loved and will be missed forever. I just thought it was really sweet.
That's so sweet.
But I'm so excited because now it's time to make our way inside of the mausoleum, which was my favorite part because I knew Tammy Wynette would be inside. But there was
Okay.
another major country star with big blonde hair and a big rack. Any guesses?
Oh, well, I want to say Dolly, but she's not passed on.
Well, it is Dolly Parton's eventual burial space. So you can
Oh!
scroll to the next one and you'll see this is her tomb that is shared with her husband, Carl Thomas Dean, who passed
Oh,
away
wow.
last year on my birthday, actually. You can see it's
Her name.
yeah, her name's on there, Dolly Parton. There's like a beautiful scene in there with, I think like that must be the house she grew up in.
It's like farmhouse, like two like farmhouses.
Yeah. And then
Beautiful.
it's just like a beautiful farmscape. I just love it so much.
God love her. The fact that this is so modest.
It gives me chills that you just said that because that was my thoughts. The second I saw it, I'm just like, wow. Like you would think because some people are so elaborate, but I'm like, of course Dolly Parton is just like, no.
I'm going to be with my man.
Uh-huh.
And it's not going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
She lives out loud and is so, just
Yeah.
so, not
Just-
out there, but so glam.
I just love her.
Yeah, I love that.
Love her. Now, in another section is Tammy Wynette's dedicated space, and this is going to be several photos that we're going to go through. It was stunning. First, you'll see a funeral wreath.
Yeah, it looks like a living room.
Yeah. So this is inside, and then if you keep scrolling down, there's beautiful like framed pictures of her. I love the one of her in yellow pants sitting in the chair with those cool sunglasses.
Wow. So she's in the same cemetery as George Jones, but just
She's like, I'm inside, you're out there. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
But if you keep scrolling down, you'll see there's a whole table set up outside of where her tomb is. And it's
Wow.
all these beautiful framed pictures of her family, pictures of her throughout her career. I had to sign. If you keep scrolling, I had to sign the guest book.
Oh, I love that you did.
And her daughter had actually put that out there and wrote on the first page, from my family to yours, thank you for coming and paying your respect to my sweet mom. We are very grateful after all these years. Love, Jackie Daly. And there's some video clips and stuff. We'll insert whatever we can. And then I have the actual tomb on the wall, which you can see is very elaborately decorated with pictures of her throughout her career and a sketch drawing of her. If you don't know who Tammy Wynette is, you need to. She's one of my all-time favorites. Probably best known for Stand By Your Man or Divorce. She, to me, really just emitted this excellence, this star power that really made her stand out. I love to go back and watch live performances of her on YouTube. Only wish I could have seen her live, but sadly she passed away in 1998 at the age of 55. So God
Wow.
rest her soul. Just love her so, so much. And another icon inside of this mausoleum was Lynn Anderson.
Okay.
And here's something cool. So when I got inside when I first walked into the actual inside part of the cemetery, the man who greeted me there gave me a little map and he's like, oh, here's where everyone is. And he kind of gave me a little bit of a tour. And he was like, he's like, anyone you're really excited to see in here? And I was like, well, Tammy Wynette. And he's like, okay, you know who else is here, though, is Lynn Anderson. And I was like, wait, I saw a bench for her outside. I thought she was buried outside. He's like, no, that's just in the little rose garden for her because she has a really famous hit song called Rose Garden, which you'll know. Let me play you a sample and hopefully not get us in trouble, but you'll know it.
I beg your pardon. Okay, cute.
So, yeah, I mean, inarguably, it was her biggest hit song. But if you scroll through, she also has just a beautiful display of memorabilia out there. There's all kinds of things. There's something they actually have like the funeral flyer from her passing, and it's all rose themed. There's lots of roses in there.
Beautiful.
And if you scroll through, just her picture.
She has her own rose.
Fabulous. Yeah, just beautiful. Last but not least, we have little Jimmy Dickens.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. I've scrolled over. Very cool. Isn't his statue right outside of not the Grand Ole Opry, but the Ryman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't we have pictures with it?
Yes. So little Jimmy Dickens, he gained his stage name because he was a little guy. He was 4'10". He wore the most incredible outfits. We've got to put pictures in here. Austin, counting on you. But he was like the bedazzled, fucking showman outfits. And actually, this is so interesting. So one of his good buddies was Hank Williams, who obviously we adore. Hank Williams called him the nickname Tater.
like a little tater tot?
Yeah. And this is so iconic. I guess Jimmy had asked Hank, he's like, hey, I need a hit song. You got to help me. Write me a hit. They're on a plane. Hank writes a song in about 20 minutes. And the song, Hey Good Lookin'.
No way.
Hey Good Lookin'. Hey good lookin'. What you got cooking? And then Hank takes the song. And he's like, actually, no, this is so good.
Well,
I'm taking it for myself. But they remained very close friends. He was actually very beloved in the country music world, especially with the Grand Ole Opry. And that is actually where they held his funeral after he passed away on January 2nd, 2015, at the age of 94 years old. And he was, at the time of his death, I believe, the oldest living Opry member.
Wow. That is so cool.
A little guy with a big life.
Little guy with a big life. Now, this statue right here, is that actual size? I guess so.
No.
No. Well, right? 4'10"? Maybe.
No, that was like up to like my thigh.
Oh, okay. Well, aren't you 10 feet?
Something
10 feet
like
tall.
that. Okay, well, that was my trip to the cemetery this week, and I'm so glad I got to go.
I loved it. I want to do it every week.
I know.
Fun.
You're going to be here in 2 weeks, and I want to take you to that cemetery when you're here.
Oh, I would love to. Let's plan on that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've heard about some interesting figures, and I'm actually curious, before you read us your obituary for the week, I have to know, was it inspired by your trip to the cemetery?
How did you know?
Because mine is.
Yours is too?
Yeah.
Okay, this was truly no shade, but this was not like a very beautiful headstone that I was just drawn to, but the girl's name was Doris, so I had to look her up, and this is her obituary from the newspaper, from the Press-Telegram, 1919. It says, Doris Melvin Funeral. Funeral service for Doris Melvin was held yesterday afternoon from the undertaking parlors of Holton and Son, the Reverend J. Wesley Neely of Grace Methodist Church, officiating Frank Hart sang. Telephone operators from the Sunset Telephone Office, where Miss Melvin had been long-distance operator, were the pallbearers, which I thought was sweet. Interment was in Sunnyside Cemetery. Miss Melvin was 20 years old and died Sunday at Seaside Hospital as a result of a major operation. She leaves a father and mother, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Melvin of Santa Ana, an uncle and aunt, Mr. and Mrs. W. Melvin of Long Beach, And it goes on to list the rest of her family. But I thought it was sweet that her coworkers basically were all her pallbearers.
Oh, that is sweet. I love that.
I know. Miss Doris Melvin.
Rest in peace, Doris Melvin.
Rest in peace. Now, who do you got?
Okay, mine's actually from a plaque that was on one of the graves that I saw. But it reads like an obituary. It tells her life, and I thought that was really cool. And what I loved was, one, her sassy little picture, which we'll put up. One of the first couples that I talked about, the husband was in the industry, and his plaque on his tomb was kind of like studded out, and then hers was just kind of like, and this was his wife. This woman's husband was also in the biz, in the country music business. But she got her own accolades and everything on here.
Okay.
This is for Audrey Marie Pierce, born June 15th, 1926, died December 20th, 2021. Born in Camden, Arkansas, daughter of Travis and Hattie Green Grisham. Audrey took an interest in modeling, and at the age of 16, she moved to Shreveport, Louisiana to pursue a modeling career. During this time, she also worked as a phone operator at the Shreveport Telephone Company.
Weird.
It was there she met Webb Pierce, who was smitten by Audrey's beauty and charm. They fell in love and were married in November of 1952. Audrey was very creative. Painting, gardening, landscaping, and interior design were among her many talents. Audrey also co-wrote songs for Webb, including There Stands the Glass, It's Been So Long, and I'm Walking the Dog.
Ooh.
Her most cherished role was as a mother to her children, Webb Jr. and Deborah, and a grandmother to her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, whom she adored. May she rest in peace in the loving arms of God.
Oh, that was so sweet.
I just love her.
I love that.
And I love she took an interest in modeling. So when she's 16, she said, see ya, I'm going to Louisiana and I'm going to become the next big thing.
Good for her.
We love a gal with a risk, and she just has this perfectly coiffed bob, and I just love her.
Just a classy lady.
Well, let's talk about some unclassy people, because we have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
That means it's time for some dumb
ass
criminals. Who you got?
Alrighty, so I have one that popped up because I guess the whole internet called her like the dumbest criminal.
Okay. We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, we'll be the judge. So this is from February 25th, 2025. This is reported all over, but I pulled the fox5atlanta.com article. And it says, Sonoya police, I hope I'm not butchering that city name, are seeking the public's help in locating a woman accused of stealing debit card information from a customer from Sonoya and using it to pay for her probation fines. Okay, so basically there is a mugshot of this girl, and her name is Alifa Sumter. It says she allegedly stole debit card details from a customer while working at a Whataburger drive-thru in Noonan on February 21st. Investigators say Sumter then used the stolen card information later that same day to pay fines and fees, which were $400, with the probation office. The police are working in coordination with the Coweta County State Court Probation Office, identified Sumter as a suspect after matching the timing of the victim's transaction at the drive-thru. The victim also positively identified Sumter. Investigators informed Sumter of the charges, and she initially agreed to turn herself in on February 21st. However, authorities say she failed to appear and she stopped responding to investigator calls. Family members told police that she had fled to Florida, reportedly for a trip planned prior to the charges being filed. And there is a number on here to contact the police department to find her whereabouts. So They know who she is. She's dumbass for fucking doing that.
Nice try.
Nice try, girl. I'm sure she's already been caught.
I remember when TikTok first came out, one of the first ones that I saw was from a woman who had gone through, she's like, I go through this drive-thru every day. A girl working here took my card in the back. I thought it was kind of weird. And
yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And like that Yeah, that was a whole fucking thing. And she confronted her. She like pulled through the drive-through and she's like, you did it. And she's like, other girls like, I'm sorry.
That is when TikTok really was popping off.
That's when it was fun. And now it's just everyone just trying to fucking be viral.
Wait, I have an update. She has, from the police department's Facebook, she has turned herself in and is now in custody.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay. There's the ending.
Someone wrote from misdemeanor to felony in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Damn.
Okay. Well, I have a wild guy who is from Florida, which we haven't visited in a while.
We haven't. I know.
This is from clickorlando.com and it says, quote, Central Florida man caught in sexual performance with vacuum, deputies say.
Oh, baby. Okay.
Keith Westerhold, or Keith Vacuum Fucker, 51. What if that was his name?
Yeah.
His name's not even Keith. Kevin Westerhold, 51, faces charges of exposing sexual organs. Girl, how do you say this? Osceola? Osceola?
Oh, Oscala. Ocala.
No, because that's Ocala. This is different. Osceola? Girl, he was from Florida.
Who knows?
An
Okay,
Oviedo man was arrested this week after he was caught engaging in a sexual performance with a vacuum cleaner, according to the county sheriff's office. In a release, deputies said they responded to Grassendale Street in Kissamee's Windsor Hills Resort on January 22nd after receiving reports of a man exposing his sexual organs in front of a residence.
Oh. Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, leave him alone if he's doing that.
We've all tried it. The victims that observed this behavior provided a statement and a cell phone recording of a male partially clothed in front of a residence engaging in sexual performance with the vacuum cleaner, the release reads.
Got it.
Further investigation revealed that the suspect and his wife were listed as the host of an Airbnb and a home in the Windsor Hills Resort, deputies added. A complaint had been reported just a day prior about a man who had been walking in a shared hallway space while nude. Girl, it's like the dad from Seventh Heaven.
I know.
Video of the incident captured on a Ring camera was given to the responding deputy. It didn't stop there, though. Other people released similar statements, and now he faces a charge of exposure of sexual organs. Meanwhile, detectives are urging anyone else who knows of similar incidents involving Westerhold to call the sheriff's office. You can fuck a vacuum in the privacy of your own home, but
nobody cares.
Close the blinds. Don't do it in the hallway, you sicko. That's what makes you a dumbass.
I mean, even if you're doing it in your own home and the blinds are open, you're still in your own home. It's the second you step outside and you're fucking the vacuum.
Now you're someone else's problem.
Yeah. God.
You suck.
You do suck. My God. I wonder what kind of vacuum.
Yeah.
I know. I wonder what kind of vacuum it was.
Girl.
Like, was it cordless?
Was it a Bissic?
You know?
Was it a devil?
A Bissic.
Daredevil? Bizzle. Bizquick?
Was it a Bissic? No. Was it a Dyson? Was it,
Not a Dyson.
Was it a Shark, honey?
Oh,
teeth.
action.
Yeah.
Well,
was it a shop vac?
We have some investigating to do, so we're going to go do that, and we'll be back next week with some more coffin spinners.
Oh, and obituaries.
And dumb
ass
criminals. Goodbye.
Goodbye.